Welcome to the HC Leadership Podcast, forged in fire, led with purpose, formerly known as the Heat of Command. We're here to explore what it takes to lead courageously authentic. From the fireground, battlefield, ballfield, classroom, or boardroom, we bring you real conversations to inspire, challenge, and drive change. Here are your hosts, Kyle Matusik and me, Kerry Henderson. Welcome back, listeners. HC Leadership Podcast, forged in fire, led with purpose. Kyle and Kerry here. Another exciting episode. And we're recording later than we normally do. I have been up since the crack of dawn, which is Kyle's normal wake-up time, but I got up way earlier than normal, so I'm pretty tired. We were brainstorming some episode ideas we popped on just a few minutes ago, and we decided to go with something that required zero prep from the two of us. So we are going to rapid fire some questions to each other. Would you rather style? I feel like I'm a middle schooler right now because I play Would You Rather with my middle schooler all the time. I think last night I asked him, if your principal vanished, would you rather Santa or the Grinch replace her for the day? And Nick was like, Santa. And I'm like, and he's 13, so I love that for him. But I was like, man, but wouldn't it be fun if the Grinch showed up and like any of your like enemies or the teachers you don't like, and the Grinch could be like, hey, hey. Because have you seen the Grinch when he says that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm excited for our Would You Rather episode, and this will be leadership style, work style, family style, all the things. So we are going to we and Kyle and I have not really pre-looked at any of these so that we can just off the cuff genuinely answer Would You Rather. So I'm going to start it off for us, Kyle. All right?
All right, let's do it.
Would you rather say no early or say yes too often? So would you rather say no early or say yes way too often?
Wow, man, these are getting me, you're already getting me thinking deep. I'm like, well, it depends. What are we talking about here, right?
I feel like every one of these is going to be like, yes. Yeah.
I think just knowing me and who I am, I would say no too early.
Okay.
It's like the unknown,
Yeah.
But then in some instances, I'd be like, yeah, say yeah, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, Richard Branson, one of his famous quotes is, if you get an opportunity that you have no idea what you're doing, just say yes, and then you'll figure it out as you go,
Yeah.
That's a good one. I like that.
So I have a personal story, and I love that this one showed up as a Would You Rather. In 2024, yes, the year 2024, I decided to say yes to everything, like as much as I could. So all the folks that come to me and my job, like, hey, can we try this? Like, hey, I've got an idea for a training, or hey, can you do this? I just said yes. And with some caveats, I would tell them like if they had a training idea, because we have a small training division. So, we're kind of at our max of what we could pull off right now. But I'd be like, yeah, if you would like to do this training, you come to me with a training plan, a budget, what resources do you need? What logistics do you need? Time frame. Yeah. And you can do it. If you can tell me all the things of how you're going to make it successful, yeah, absolutely. And like, we did all kinds of stuff that was so random, but I'm like, every time somebody came to me, I'm like, yes. And 2024 was exhausting because I said yes so much. So 2025, I was like, okay, we made it through that. And now I know what's easy to say yes to and what I need to pause and think about. But yeah, 2024 was my year of yes.
Yeah, I don't know if I could do that.
Yeah. All right. You want to ask one or you want me to ask you another one?
I got one for you. So would you rather lead a team that's highly skilled but unmotivated or motivated but inexperienced?
Oh, second one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes it's nice, like, I don't know. Sometimes it's nice, like, just to have great skill. But for the most part, that's quick. That's temporary.
Right.
Like, I feel like so much stuff you can teach people. Like, if they're motivated, there's so much stuff you can teach people to do. So I guess second one. What about you?
Yeah, it's like choose your hard, I guess, right? Like there's, I think, a lot of benefit to, especially in our careers where you have a highly skilled team and you have a involved incident and it's like, you have skill on your crew, so we're going to be able to manage this well, versus, in our industry now, and I'm pretty sure a lot of industries across the board, you know, there's days I'm on the rig and I'm the oldest guy by 15 years, right? And you're looking at all these, the 21,
Yeah.
22, 23-year-olds, and you're like, oh man, I hope we don't get anything today, right? Because it's like you're going to be babysitting all of them. Not that they don't know what they're doing, but they just are inexperienced. They're motivated. So it's like, yeah, it's choose your heart. But at the end of the day, when you have motivated people, I think it's a lot easier to work with, and, you can build them, and I think it's just in a more enjoyable culture and environment than the latter. So, yeah, I would go
And I think
motivated
too,
and experienced.
there's times you walk into a space where people are super talented and experienced and all that, and they just for whatever reason have lost some motivation. And if that's the case, and you're a leader that can build that back up,
Yeah,
that's a good space to be in too.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that's a good one. All right. Let's see. Would you rather be decisive or be democratic?
Oh, decisive. Yeah, yeah. I think just inherently maybe that just comes with our backgrounds too. It just is something that I'm rooted in. I think you're right. There's a time and place for being democratic. I think, especially in our profession. I think this stuff just wires us a certain way, and I think quick decisions and being decisive is just part of like the core of what we do, and the traits we try to build in the young people, especially because sometimes we don't have time for a quorum to what are we going to do here? You know what I'm saying? Again, I think it depends on the situation, but at the end of the day, for me, it's just decisive and make decisions, and live with those consequences. And over the course of gaining knowledge through training and experience and all that, you just have confidence in your decision making. But even like I think on the home front too, I'm probably more see on the home front. See, when we look at my family and stuff, like planning vacations and things of that nature and doing things like I take a more democratic role now. I think it's interesting as you grow and you learn some of these things about yourself, right? That you're very decisive and hard-headed and stubborn, right? That's me. That's my oldest kid too. She's becoming just like me. Oh, it's scary. But anyways, right, you start realizing these things and it's like, okay, how do I change them? And, I've talked in the past before, your home is a great training ground to start implementing some new characteristics that you want. So a lot of times now it's a lot of democratic type conversations of what we're going to do with our free time, go out to eat, things around the house, just et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, so if I had to choose, it would probably be decisive though. I mean, that's just like a
Yeah.
more comfortable thing, I think.
Yeah, and I think too, for me, you're right. It does 100%. And a lot of professions depend on the situation where you need to use one or the other more liberally. I will say I'll talk to the home front first, and kind of counter to what you're saying is, yeah, there is definitely a lot of room for democratic decisions in a home. But I'll say as a woman, sometimes I need my husband to be decisive.
Yeah.
I come home a lot of days with decision fatigue, and I just can't anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot make another decision, especially if it's one that doesn't there's no consequences to. Like, what do you wanna do? Like, especially with date nights, if we have date nights, like, "Where do you wanna go?" I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, "What car do you wanna take?" Don't care. Like, "Dress up, not dress up?" Don't care. Like, I need you to say, "Honey, we're going to this restaurant at this time. This is the attire." Man, that's my love
Yeah.
language.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But at work, I am more decisive than probably democratic. But at the same time, if I'm making a decisive decision, I want to be able to tell people, unless it's in the heat of the moment where there's not time for that, I want to tell people the why so that you can hopefully be on board with that. But I do think there is definitely times where there is, you need more input on decisions from folks that it's going to affect. Like, hey, what's your opinion on this? But sometimes you just got to be the one to make the decision, especially if it's your area of expertise. Cool.
All right. Would you rather be, this is an interesting one too, respected or trusted?
Trusted. I'd rather you trust me.
Yeah.
I mean, respect comes and goes, because it, I don't know, there's so much behind being respected, and you can be, not respected, but still doing the right thing, I guess. Like, because I don't know, it's such in the eye of the beholder. But trust, I think, is different. I think trust is, you either trust or you don't trust, and respect is so blurry and black and white. I don't know. I think they kind of blend together too, but I think I'd rather be trusted because that's so hard to get back too. Like, I don't know, we talk about values all the time, and trust is one of those. So I think trust goes into being reliable and dependable. And I don't know, respect is just a little bit more subjective to me. Trust is more black and white to me.
Yeah, I think I would 100% agree with exactly what you said. It's just, yeah, trust is one of those things. Like, we look in our industry and our listeners, I'm sure you work with people or have bosses that you might not necessarily respect, but you trust them, right? That they're going to get you in and
Yeah.
out of situations and you know that they know their job, but you just don't like them. That, it is what it is. Yeah. So I think that trust is just, it's one of those things that, yeah, I mean, you hit it right on the head. It's very objective and not subjective at all, where respect is the other. So yeah, I would definitely go with trust.
Yeah. Cause I don't think that I can think of anyone. So, like, there's people I can think of that I don't really respect, but I trust. But there's not the vice versa.
Right. Yeah.
There's no one that I can think of that I don't trust, but I do respect.
Right. Yeah. Well put.
It's a good one. All right, let's see what else we got. Would you rather? Oh, there's so many good ones on here. Be confident or be coachable?
I think I would rather be coachable. And I think the older I've gotten and some of the work that I've done, that has changed. A few years ago, I probably would have been saying the other. I'd be confident, but I want to be coachable. There's been so much of my life. I was just talking to, I had one of my buddies over for coffee, and we were talking, and we were both talking about how we never had mentors growing up, and even through our professional life, like that person who is sincerely going to hold your hand, and no matter what the mistakes, the successes, like they're by your side through it all. Sure, there are people who have helped me along the way, but not that person. Like, I got you no matter what, even when you fall flat on your face or the opposite. And so, me and him were talking, and a lot of similarities that we kind of paved our own roads and we did a lot of work on our own. And I was like, it'd be so nice to just have a mentor, like somebody to coach me, right? Like I really
Yeah.
want that. Like I really want that. So if you're a listener out there that's looking for somebody to mentor, please let me know. But like I really want that. I think there's just so much benefit. There's only so much you can do on your own, right? And I truly believe you will hit a ceiling very quickly trying to do things on your own. And I did it for a long time. And now I just like, I strive and I crave just that strong mentor in my life to where they can help me along the way, right? They understand my weaknesses, strengths. They know how to build me up. They know how to push me when I need to be pushed. They know how to, step back and just support during those types of seasons. But yeah, I think I would much rather be coachable. The older I get, the more coachable I want to be, and I truly seek that because together and community of people and people working together, that's where the sky's the limit. When you shut that down and just try to pave your own road, it becomes challenging.
Yeah. And the whole mentor thing, I had someone ask me to be their mentor, and she's a captain in another state. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm honored. But most of our conversations, it's equally mentoring. Like,
Yeah,
we just bounce so much off of each other, and soundboards for both of, for each other, that an equal mentorship at this point, which is really nice. And it's nice to have someone that knows nothing about, your department, and, it's just an outside look in, which is
yeah,
nice. For me, I think the older I've gotten, I really want to be coachable. Like you said, I want to be coachable because that's so much wrapped around that self awareness and accepting criticism and accepting feedback. And older I've gotten and the more confidence I've gotten, the more I'm able to be coachable. So before I lacked a lot of self confidence, and I don't think I was super coachable because there were so many barriers up because I lacked confidence. But now I have more confidence. I'm more coachable. It's like this double edged kind of sword going on. But I try really hard to be coachable. And when people approach me with some kind of feedback, like to completely not be defensive, which is so hard, and to really feel like, all right, what can I do to improve what they're telling me? Because they're telling me for a reason.
Yeah.
But before I didn't have as much confidence, I couldn't have done that. So,
All right. Would you rather know this? So that we're going to go a little deep, kind of bridging off last week a little bit. Would you rather know your blind spots or know other people's opinions?
other people's opinions of me are none of my business.
Yeah.
I've heard Rachel Hollis say that. So she's like a motivational, like self-help leadership kind of speaker. And I've heard her say that. I've heard her say that early on in my leadership journey. And I was like, whoo, that's tough to do because I was very worried about other people's opinions of me. Not so much anymore. I would much rather know my blind spots at this point. There was a time in my life where I needed other people's opinions to be okay, but now I'm like, you know what? Your opinion is based on whatever thing that you've seen of me or done with me. And now I just like I want you to like me, right? Everybody has that desire. Like I want you to like me, but sometimes it doesn't happen.
Right. Yeah.
And I can't lose a ton of sleep over it unless you're like my husband. Like I do need you to like me. And Kyle, I need you to like me because we gotta work together. So, how about you?
Yeah, I think knowing blind spots, you look at this question, it's almost like a maturity thing. The older you get, it's interesting how things just shift over time. And, for the young listeners, and I understand, like, we get it, that how you get sucked into what people think about you and their opinions of you. Like, I get it and what you're trying to do. But being aware, I think, of your blind spots is much more valuable in the long run. It's very interesting when we look at life and what we value and stuff early on in our careers and then how that changes over the course of time. And so, through the mistakes that we've made, I've made, I hope, you hear like, where are your blind spots? Where are your weaknesses? Where do your defenses go up, and start working towards that? Because that's going to pay much more dividends in the long run than caring about what people think about you. Like you said, Kerry, there's going to be people you can do everything right. They're still not going to like you, right? For whatever reason. And yeah, who cares? Just it just does not matter. There's 330 million people in this country. Somebody's gonna like you, so it doesn't matter. So just that's just that self-reflection piece, that radical self-reflection of knowing your blind spots. I think is just much more valuable.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Shifting gears. Early morning PT, afternoon PT, or evening PT.
Oh,
So workout.
early morning. I can't do it any other time. Like, and my wife is the same way. Like, if we don't get it done before noon, and that's late for us, okay? So usually, like, my prime time is like, I would say, depending how early I wake up. All right. So if it's a 4 a.m. wake up, like, I need a couple hours. But, like, I can't get up and go. Like, that's completely out. But, like, give me, like, between 7 and 10, like, that's prime time for me to work out. But, like, we get to noon and later, like, forget about it. Like, my motivation's gone. I'm like, "No, I'm not doing that," you know? Again, I get up very early, so by, like, noon, 1 o'clock, like, my day's pretty much done. All my tasks are complete. I have the rest of the day to do whatever needs to be done or hang out. But yeah, absolutely morning. By afternoon, I'm not even doing it.
Yeah. So for me, it's not early morning by any means. If I know I have a day coming up that I know I can't get it in the afternoon, then I will get up 50%, 25% of the time and do it in the morning. But I just hate like when it's so dark out, it's dark outside in the morning when I have to work out. I'm like, well, I just can't do it. But if I'm off, I do prefer to work out like 10 in the morning, not like before 10. 10 is even kind of late. If I'm able to, I do prefer like an 8 or 9 a.m. workout. But most days my schedule does not allow that. So I am an afternoon workout person, but it's got to be like 3:30. I cannot work out at night. I'm like, no way, Jose. I'd be up all night if I did that. So
Yeah, I work with guys, like, they'll go out after dinner and work out. I'm like, "What are you doing?" Like, there is no way I could do that.
and I give major props to people that like they're like, I haven't gotten it in yet, so I've got to do it whenever I can. Like I'm impressed. Like if you're going out at night doing it, I'm impressed. Super impressed.
Yeah, I forget about it.
At that point, I've written it off.
Yeah. And, like, I used to be so much harder on myself with that, but now I'm like, I'm good. Like, it doesn't matter. I mean, it does, but it doesn't. All right, this one's kind of for me, I guess. Would you rather give up coffee or give up your favorite hobby? So what is your favorite hobby? And then you got to choose between coffee and your hobby.
It's coffee. I'm giving up coffee.
Oh, no, Kerry. Oh, no. Nope.
Yeah, coffee's whatever. And I know your love for coffee, and I appreciate that. I have lots of hobbies, and I would give up coffee charts for any of them. So my hobbies are boating, golf, the beach, camping, but only camping at the beach. Yeah, reading, do a lot of that. What else are my hobbies? But yeah, I would give up coffee before any of those things. I would say hanging out with my husband is a hobby.
I don't know if I could give up coffee.
Yeah. So you make good coffee though. Like I still haven't figured out how to make. I make firehouse coffee. Like I
Ugh.
still just drink a Folgers.
Brown water.
Now I will tell you, and here's a plug because you told me I got to buy better coffee. I have been buying the Black Rifle coffee, and that's been good. And I've tried some other coffee that has been better. But I drink like almost black coffee, and I just don't really care what it tastes like. I just drink it for.
I'll change your mind next month.
I know, and I like when you bring the coffee when we go out and speak, and you bring me coffee that you make. I do like it, but I don't know how to pull all that off. So, and I know it's easy. I just no.
Yeah, I don't think I could give up. Well, and coffee probably could be a hobby of mine, but like, I mean, I do think about it though. Like, we like the outdoors, camping, hiking, stuff like in the mountains and stuff. And but I don't see how I could hike without coffee. Like, you can't. They go together. All right, like I don't know. That would be a tough one. But I don't think I could give up coffee.
Yeah, so there's one on here that says coffee or energy drinks. I'm not even asking you that one.
Oh yeah, no, energy drinks. I don't understand how some of these people drink those. Like if I drink some of those, yeah, I'd be going to the hospital, probably with like SVT. Like, all right, something's going on. This is crazy. And you see these young guys just chugging these things, and I'm like, how? You hear the saying, the body keeps score. It'll catch up.
Yeah. Let's see. A lot of these are like no brainers. I'm not going to ask you any of these because they're like, yes, yes.
All right, I got one for you.
Okay. Yeah, do it.
Would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
One horse.
So
A duck the size of a horse.
A duck is one of those, or 100 duck-sized horses. So 100 horses that are the size of a duck. So you gotta fight one duck that's a horse size, or 100 horses that are duck sized.
I don't know. That's hard. I would say one of the things. I feel like ducks don't run super fast, but maybe they would if they were horse-sized. I could maybe hide from that and not 100 of the other things. Yeah, that's an awesome question.
I think I would go with the one duck. I think I would have to go. I mean, horses they're intelligent animals, and 100 of them, even though they're small,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like
know.
they could trample you.
Yeah.
You'd be like, you'd be in the Lion King movie, like Simba's dad, when he
Yeah.
gets killed by the
Yeah.
stampede.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I think I have to go with the one horse-sized duck.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. All right. Would you rather have results or have culture in your organization or on your team, or depending
Culture,
on
for sure. And I wanna I preface that, like, taking ourselves out of, like, our career field because we are results based, right? I mean, we need good results, right? So, let's take that out of it. Obviously, if you're in the first obviously, if you're EMS and stuff like that, our results matter. But, yeah, culture, hands down. If you have a culture that excites you and you're a part of, and it operates extremely well together, you can't beat that. You can, and the results will come, right? You don't have. It's almost like you don't have to worry about results when you have a culture. Yeah.
yeah. All right, I got another one because I disagree with that. I just totally agree with that. Like I don't have anything else. So, would you rather lead quietly or publicly?
Again, I think this is one that has changed over time, and for me now, it's quietly. I don't need. I don't need to show what I'm doing. I don't need admiration from anybody. I don't need. It doesn't matter. I think sometimes the things we do in silence that people don't see have the biggest impacts on our teams and the people around us. And, the last week or a couple weeks ago, we talked about, that deep self-reflection and identity and purpose and all those things. And when you do that work, a lot of times that is very individual work and you're doing that on your own. And to really grow as a leader and understand what that means and the depth of being a leader. A lot of times it's just very surface level, lukewarm leadership. But when you want to get to the depths of things, that happens very intimately with yourself, maybe a close friend or a mentor, and it is not in the public eye at all. And I think that's where, greatness is born from. It is not born in the public eye in front of everybody. So yeah, I think it's leading quietly, almost being like that sniper sitting up on a hilltop somewhere, just watching, learning, and then when it's time, the trigger's pulled and the results are there. And I think there's just a lot of value there.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. As a part of me feels like when you're a young leader early in your leadership journey, I think there are some times where you need to be a little public because I think people are waiting for something.
Yeah.
People are waiting to see what type of leader you're going to be, especially if you're responsible for them. So I think it's okay humbly to lead a little publicly when you're trying to show people you can be trusted, because people are wondering, like, can I trust this new leader? Like, what kind of, like, are they going to stand up for me? Are they going to support me? All these things. And it's okay to kind of humbly, publicly lead, not 24/7, but in a few instances to show people, like, this is what I'm going to do. And this is how I am. But I think I totally agree. Like now, I love being behind the scenes now and supporting people.
Yeah.
Like, just they don't even know, like, the things that I'm taking care of or doing for them, and I can just swoop in and take care of it and be out of there, and I'm like, "Oh, it feels good just to take care of that,"
Yep.
and, and yeah, because I don't need to be
No.
out there proving anything at this point, so, yeah.
Yeah.
But I do wonder sometimes, like, with the podcast and stuff and us out speaking, like, is this leading loudly? But I don't think so. I think this is just us
Yeah.
reverberating our message.
Yeah, I think it's just
Yeah.
a conversation that,
Yeah.
hopefully people enjoy. And, I think it's, pushing the norm a little bit when we look at what leadership is. And, for us, I think we dig deep into that self-reflection and authenticity. And I think that's just needed, just what you were just saying in terms of leading quietly where people don't even know what's going on and seeing what's going on. That is a complete opposite than a lot of the cultures that we were brought up in, where you have people at the top that want to just boast and look at what I did, look at this, look at this. And there's a shift going on. And I think it's just important to talk about and how to get there and how to get there earlier, especially for our young folks. We've made a lot of mistakes. I've made a lot of mistakes, and if you don't have to make those and you can get to some of these points quicker, then that sky's going to be a lot taller than it was for me, and you could reach heights I could never even imagine reaching. So, and I think that's the goal, right? That's succession planning. That's continuity planning. That is, everybody that comes after you should be doing the job better than you. And if not, then you are not a leader and you're failing miserably, right? But a lot of times people want to protect that ego and their pride and what they've accomplished and what they've done. But, the people that come after you should be doing the job better than us.
Yeah. No, absolutely. All right. You got any more?
I don't know. I think we hit a lot of the good
Yeah,
ones.
we did. We got some good ones.
The duck one was the best.
The duck one was so good. I love it. Let's see. Yeah, because all of these that I could come up with about our work and family, we talk about our family stuff, what we prefer all the time. So those are no brainers for us. So yeah, I would encourage our listeners, think about this and post on our socials, and maybe let's put a post up on social and ask a couple of these and see if we can get some listener participation and see what their thoughts are on some of these. So like, be liked or respected, lead from the front or coach from behind, loyal to people or loyalty to standards or loyalty to the past. So those are great ones, and we'll post some stuff up on social to get your. I always wonder like, what are our listeners thinking when we're talking? Like, are they thinking yes or no? That is not what I do. Like, I'm always thinking about that. So this is a fun one. Thanks, Kyle, for participating in my goofy.
Absolutely. It was a great idea. I loved it.
We will see you guys or chat with you guys next week. Take care. Bye.
You've been listening to the HC Leadership Podcast. Leadership isn't rank or title, it's how you show up. So go look in the mirror. Are you leading with purpose today? Keep reflecting, keep leading. Until next time.